Ryan's so excited. Ever since he was a little kid, he had a crush on
Why I gotta do that?
On our next guest.
Why I gotta do that?
On the line with us right now is Jodie Sweetin from Fuller House. Hello, Jodie. How you doing?
Hey, you guys. I can't believe you guys blew Ryan's secret like that. Wow. Just putting him out there.
Jodie, he has had a crush on you since he was 12 years old, and he's so excited.
They're exaggerating, Jodie.
So excited that you're here today.
Jodie,
He
went as far as getting his nose hair waxed to talk to you on the phone.
Yeah,
did.
that's true.
Well, I appreciate it because, no one likes a phone call with long nose hair. It's really, nobody likes that. So
I hate this show, Jodie, and I'm going to quit after today, but I have always been one of Sweetin's.
Everyone on it. This is terrible. Well, at least it's not in person because I would be just staring at you awkwardly and then it would just get really weird.
Yeah, that would be only thing worse than this. Literally a childhood nightmare of mine right now. It's fine. No big deal.
I mean, you're more than welcome
trust
to.
me, it can always get worse. It can always get worse.
This is true. Yeah,
You're right. It's okay. I'm proud to be one of Sweetin's sweeties. Okay, that's how I see myself.
Yay! Oh my gosh! I've never. Oh, now I might have to feel that because that's pretty awesome.
That is my gift to you, Jodie Sweetin.
Wait a
You've
minute,
given
I
me
thought
so much, and I've given you nothing.
I thought that was my thing. Angel Sweeties.
Hey, Jodie, thank you for taking time to talk to us today. I know that you are promoting a show that you have on CBS called Beyond the Edge. What is that show about?
Well, Beyond the Edge was actually a really, really fun adventure. It was the hardest thing I've literally ever done in my life physically. I don't think I've ever challenged myself quite like this. But it's a sort of Survivor-esque type show. We lived out in the jungle for, a couple weeks. And when I say lived out in the jungle, there was no nice, comfy hotel. It was sleeping on hard bamboo outside in the rain. And we were all there to raise money for our charities. And the reason I actually loved doing this show was that there was no vote off. We weren't pitted against each other.
Right.
The teams were constantly changing. It really was all about how to support each other out there. And the camaraderie and the family that we built while going through all this was just incredible. And we all were so excited to get out there and raise money for the charities that we were really passionate about. While, nearly killing ourselves out there in the jungle.
Were you scared? At first, were you a little nervous and scared? Or you're like, well, they're going to take care of me. I'm a celebrity. They'll make sure I'm okay. Or was there a little bit of, being nervous?
No, it was not. And let me tell you, it was not cushy celebrity. Oh, it'll be fine. It was like, okay, here, you live out in the jungle now. And, good luck. Obviously, if somebody got really seriously hurt, there was a medic there or something like that. But we were not. This was in no way one thing on camera and another thing off. We were 100% jungle living. Finding snails on the beach to boil and have a snack.
Right.
And mad when the monkeys would come into camp and steal our food. And it was 100% real jungle living.
Hey, Jodie, I am sure you get this probably everywhere you call, everyone you talk to, because, Bob Saget had a way of making everybody feel special. We felt like he was really great friends with us because he would come in town and come in every day, and he would call us, and he just was that guy that we all loved. And when he passed away, and here in Orlando, by the fact, we talked to him 2 days before his passing, and we had nothing but love for Bob Saget. And it was so funny because I'm looking and I'm watching on YouTube, and he made everyone feel that special. Our audience loves him, and I'm sure they would love to hear. I mean, our heart goes out to you. It had to be as tragic as it was for us. Had to be triple tragic for you. And do you have a Bob Saget story that everybody would get a kick out of?
Oh man, I mean, there's so many great Bob stories. Trying to think. Well, one funny one was when we were shooting the opening credits. I think it was for Fuller House. So by this time we were all adults, and we had to do this thing where we came out of the actual house, which Jeff Franklin owned in San Francisco, the creator of the show. We came out of the house. The red convertible car was there, and we all pile in the car and drive off. And you're supposed to just kind of drive to the end of the block and then turn around and come back and shoot it again. Well, one of the times we get in the car and we're driving, we get to the corner, and we all kind of look at Bob, and I was like, Bob, keep going. He was like, what? I was like, keep going. And so we drove for like, I don't know, 5 minutes through San Francisco, around the block a few ways, and just waved to people. And it was so hilarious to see people realize that the original cast of Full House are my
Jude.
Jodie, a little saucy. I like it.
Jodie.
I'm so sorry.
Can't say that word, Jodie.
Sorry. I know.
Hey, Bob.
But people lost their minds. It was incredible, and I'm just gonna say I blame Bob for that clip because it was.
Did he still?
Humor was always a little blue.
Did Bob still treat you like one of the kids? I mean, it probably was. He's known you since you were 8 years old or something. Was it still kind of like he was a dad figure?
I mean, yes and no. It was like a family member that you've known your whole life. But Bob was always really wonderful at never infantilizing us or making us feel like little babies. He talked to us like he would anyone else. And I always really respected that because he was so great at including us in things. And, really the adults on that show made all the difference in the experience that I had growing up in this business as a kid. And I had a wonderful experience. And I credit that to, Bob and John and Dave and Lori. I mean, they did a wonderful job being with us, as young people. And I'll always really miss Bob.
Did you ever go through a phase where you kind of resented Stephanie Tanner? Like, oh my gosh, I'm always going to be considered Stephanie Tanner. Did that ever bother you, or did you always love the character?
I think of course there's always a time, probably when I was like a teenager, when I just desperately wanted to blend into the walls and be like everyone else. Where, I was in high school and the show had just ended, so people were like, oh my God, it's Stephanie Tanner. And you're like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. And now, you grow up and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, show me all the bad outfits and the bad hair and the terrible awkward teeth moments. You just kind of come to appreciate it as an adult. And I think everybody goes through that where you're embarrassed of baby pictures at 14 or 15. And then you get to be 30 and you're like, oh no, the more embarrassing, the better. This is ridiculous.
Ryan, would you like to say anything before? She's got a bunch of people she's doing interviews. So anything you'd like to say to?
First of all, I'd like to apologize for my coworkers one last time because they are horrible people. And Jodie, I've just been a big fan of you my entire life.
Are you gonna tell her the dreams?
No, shut up. They're the worst. But
as he blushes.
I am not blushing.
You're turning
You guys
red.
are ruining this for me. You're ruining this for me.
Turning red.
You're gonna tell her how big a
I'm
crush?
listening, Ryan. I'm listening.
Thank you, Jodie. Jodie, what is keeping you going now? Because you've done all this different stuff, especially doing the show that you're doing right now, where you're crawling through the jungle. You've done Worst Cooks in America. But what is the next thing for Jodie Sweetin? As far as something you want to tackle that's super difficult?
Well, I'm hoping to get more into directing, which is really where I want to sort of steer my career is into directing television and film. So hopefully I'm going to get an opportunity to do that a little later this year. So I got to direct an episode of Fuller House, but obviously then the pandemic hit and there just wasn't a lot happening. So that's the thing I'm really looking forward to next is being able to move into directing.
Okay, second question. Can I be the fan club of Sweet and Sweet?
Ryan, I hate to do this to you, but you have to say goodbye.
Thank you. Sorry, Jodie.